Now, KOCO 5 Sports with Brian Keating.
Coming up next on The Big Show, Russell Westbrook is back with the steal of Westbrook. But the Thunder can't win a game.
Obviously, I'm not going to come back and be Superman.
Why Oklahoma City is winless since his return.
A rut. I don't think we're in a rut.
After King James and Blake Griffin put the smackdown at the peak, is KD still a heavy favorite for the MVP?
It's obvious.
Plus, the Sooners and Cowboys win big on Saturday, but are they both destined for the NCAA dance party? We'll tell you. It's next on The Big Show. Hey everybody, welcome into The Big Show. I am Sports Director Brian Keating alongside Carson Cunningham. Hey, the good news, Russell Westbrook's playing basketball again. The bad news, Thunder can't win a dang game. They had plenty of chances today. Had the Clippers in town, met Blake Griffin and the gang, and Russell Westbrook's still getting his feet under him, but a nice play to Serge. He had 6 assists.
Look good early, but not late.
Not late. Kevin Durant, how about the signature play? The coast-to-coast showing
my.
off the handle and one. Thunder up 4 after 1. They were cruising.
This looks like an all-star game. No defense.
No defense. No defense. Most of the game. Second quarter, DeAndre Jordan up and down. He had 18 and 12, and then Kevin Durant. This one's pretty. Turn the corner. It's over. You know, Carson, Blake Griffin, what did he do?
He said, "Olay, out of the way." I ain't contesting that.
No,
KD's an underrated dunker.
Well, he's so tall, he just gets up and down. Thunder down 6 at half, and then third quarter, Blake Griffin extended his range out to the three-point line. Clippers up as many as 15. Durant tied the ball game in the fourth quarter. Here come the Thunder, right? Tied at 101, and Derek Fisher, he ties it again at 107.
Old man Fish.
He made 5 threes. He was absolutely incredible today. But Jamal Crawford, the guy who usually comes off the bench, started today. He was too good. Scored 36, made dagger after dagger down the stretch. So Clippers win at 125-117. The Thunder have lost 2 straight at home.
We're a very good defensive team, but we didn't play that tonight. We gave up 44 points in a quarter. That's usually at times a half. Just got to get back to what we do and what we do well. We've been doing it well all season long. Tonight, and the last game wasn't up to our level of defense.
No, that was a big conversation piece after the ball game. Not much defense being played, and Scotty Brooks very disappointed in their effort. A lot of good, a lot of bad today for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So let's start with the good stuff here. We'll give out some grades. What would you give an A for the Oklahoma City Thunder today?
Well, if I had to give an A, I'd have to give it to the bench. Reggie Jackson really struggled, but pretty much everyone else played very, very well. We mentioned Fisher. He hit 5 threes in this game. Nick Collison was great. Great energy off the bench. The bench, 4 of the 5 bench players had a positive plus-minus. 4 of the 5 starters had a negative. They really came in and did well.
Now, bench was pretty good. Kevin Durant, what do you say? 42 points, 10 assists. His floor game was great. He did have 5 turnovers, so that's too many for Kevin. But he's so much better with the basketball in his hands than he's ever been. Kevin Durant gets an A, but we can pretty much say that every single night.
KD gets that straight A's.
No, he does. Let's go the other direction. What do you give an F? Few of those, I think.
I think we got to say defense. This one's pretty obvious. They gave up 44 points in the second quarter. That's just absurd. They let Matt Barnes hit 6 threes, and Jamal Crawford's a great player. He can heat up, but you can't let him go off like that. I say the defense gets an F.
Defense was an F. Transition defense, absolutely an F. And you know what? Reggie Jackson, much of the year we've said he's played very well for them. Not today.
He struggled.
Yeah, he was 3 of 12 from the floor, and he was a big part of why Jamal Crawford got off because he doesn't play a lot of defense, and we've said that a number of times, and he let Crawford get going and kept going and couldn't get it stopped. Here's more Thunder.
We just got to get over this little, slow stretch we're in. It's got to be better, We got to play defense, I think that's the thing. We can't just let teams come in and do whatever they want on offensive end. We really couldn't get ourselves in front of them. And they was beating us down the floor early, and it kind of gave them some confidence and led them to, win the game.
So the Thunder lose to the Clippers today. They lost to the Heat on Thursday. LeBron James, absolutely unbelievable, especially in the first half, scored 33.
Yeah,
2 very good teams. Does it change the way you look at the MVP moving forward? Kevin, LeBron, anything else you got?
I say no. I mean, Kevin had such a monstrous lead. I think he's still clearly the front runner for MVP, but LeBron's gaining, no doubt about it. And you got to say Blake Griffin's 3. What he did without Chris Paul was outstanding. Paul George has the Pacers as the best team in the East. You got to give him some credit. And LaMarcus Aldridge, the Blazers are kind of taking a dip. I would have had Aldridge higher earlier in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right on the money as far as the top 3 go. When you look at what I picked, I have Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Blake Griffin. You know, Blake Griffin's not a guy, I think before the season we would have said, hey, he's got a chance to win the MVP. And I don't know if he's got a chance to win the MVP or not, but he is third, and I think he's been the third best player this year. James Harden.
No defense.
No, I mean, he doesn't guard you, but I think what he's done with Dwight Howard,
he's been great.
The Rockets are third in the West. Paul George, I don't know. I'm not a big Paul George guy. I mean, I'm just not. Look at the schedule for the Thunder. So who's next? Game 3 of a 6-game homestand. They'll play the Cavs, who are brutal.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're terrible on the road. They're only 8-21. Thunder 17-5 against the East. So 7 o'clock on Wednesday, they get a couple of days off to regroup and try to pick up the pieces. I don't know. Hadn't played very well since the All-Star break. Back-to-back losses, Oklahoma City in first place. Firm control, 2.5 ahead of the Spurs.
Yeah, and the Thunder's next 4 opponents are combined 34 games below 500. So they have a real chance here to reel off 4 straight wins. So they're not, we kind of tend to freak out, you know, the football mentality here, but 2 losses, they'll be okay.
They're going to be okay. They've got 6 straight at home. Just got to right the ship. They'll be fine. All right, a lot more Thunder to get to. Pick 5, I promise. It's all Thunder. But next, Sooners, Cowboys. They both have big weeks. They get Kansas. It's next on The Big Show. Welcome back to The Big Show. We've talked NBA. Let's talk a little college hoops. So big win for the Cowboys. Yeah. Marcus Smart returns for OSU. He was terrific. Said he had fun playing basketball for the first time since November. So let me ask you, true or false, the real Marcus Smart is back?
Will the real Marcus Smart please stand up? This was a lot closer, but I still have to say false. It's one good game. he's had a lot of good games this year,
He
but it
has.
was good to see him play more as a facilitator. He says he's a passer-first point guard. He had 10 assists. Good to see. 0 for 3 from three-point land. Needs to cut those down, but he's on his way back. I say Fall State
I
for
think
now.
it's true because I think if you look at you said the right thing. He only shot 10 shots. I think it's a good number for him. 16 points, 10 assists, 3 boards, 6 steals. He made Nash the star. I thought he was great. I think he's absolutely back. Go to TCU tomorrow, so true or false? Here you go. Cowboys, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament.
I sound like a negative Nancy here.
You do.
2 straight falses. I say no. They have to go 8 and 10 in the conference to have any shot. Probably have to win a game in the tournament. That means they have to win 3 of the next 4, including KU at home or Iowa State on the road. I don't see it.
I'm going to say false, too. I really like the way they played yesterday. And when they get out
not
and run,
impossible.
they're really good. They got so many athletes on the wing that can finish at the rim. But I just think the schedule is so difficult that you're right. They have to beat Kansas or Iowa State, and I'm not sure they
They've
can do it.
struggled
They're
in close.
so
They've struggled in close
thin.
games too, and you got to think those are going to be close games.
Got a shot.
Got a shot. Not impossible,
but it's a long shot,
hard
I
to
think.
see.
Hey, big opportunity, though, tomorrow for Oklahoma. They go on the road to Kansas. Jayhawks, you know, if they win this thing, they can wrap up the Big 12
Of course.
championship for the 10th straight time. So here it is, easy. True or false, Sooners? They're going to go up there and win at the Falk.
Death taxes Bill Self.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say about him? I say false. They haven't won there, get this, since 1993. That speaks for itself
does.
right there. I mean, Kansas is just clobbering teams at home. Their last 2 wins at home were by 30 points.
Kansas is 7-0 in the Big 12, and you just know how this happens. I mean, they're going to go. The answer is false because hey man, I like what they've done, but they're not going to go to Lawrence,
Oof.
Kansas, and win.
Tough-
I do
tough
not
to do,
think so.
yeah.
Hey, the Sooners are tied for second in the Big 12. So let me ask you, true or false? They're going to finish tied for second, or in second by themselves.
And I really wanted to say true right here. I can't quite pull the trigger just because they tend to play down to the level of their competition. You know, they struggled with TCU at home. They lost to Tech at home. They go to at Kansas, that's probably a loss. Texas at home's no gimme. West Virginia's no gimme. And then at TCU, I say false, just barely. I think Iowa State nips them.
I think Texas nips them, and I think
Texas,
Iowa
okay.
State finishes fourth. I think OU's going to finish third, but I think Texas' schedule's easier. I think OU's had a terrific year, so finishing third when you're picked in the bottom half of the league, I think it's been an outstanding
Lon Kruger's
season.
doing a
yeah.
heck of a job.
Hey, they're going to be a 4 or 5 seed in the tournament. I think they got a
Absolutely.
chance to win some games. We did have a women's game this afternoon. Cowgirls survive. That would have been an awful loss, but it is a win, 63-62. Tiffany Bias scored 22, and OSU wins in Lubbock. Coming up next on the big show, it is Pick 5, all about the Thunder. Russell, Derek Fisher, MVP.
MVP.
Keep it here. Welcome back to the Big Show. Brian Keating, Carson Cunningham. It is time for Pick 5. What's the word? It's all thunder.
All thunder.
We will start with the return of Russell.
I mean, I'm 100%. Obviously, I'm not going to come back and be Superman, but, I'm going to come back every game and get better.
We're adding a very good player, an all-star player. And when you add that to your team, it helps your team. We're not playing defense. We're not playing defense because Russell came back.
They didn't play defense today because they didn't play defense. He's right about that. Thunder 0-2 with Russell, though. Pick 1. Westbrook's return has been blank.
Rusty. And you see what I did there? Rusty is the word right there. Rusty.
I like it. I like it.
He looks the same. He's got that same speed, that same agility. His touch is not quite there. He's missed 18 of his 25 shots the past 2 games.
Yeah.
That'll come. There's no reason to panic. Russell will be Russell eventually, but right now he's rusty.
He is rusty. And I said he's in slow motion. I just don't see the explosion. Maybe just because I don't think he hasn't forced the issue as much yet as I think he will. His handle's not there. I think he's dribbled, off his foot a couple of times. You're not going to see that. He has 7 turnovers. You're right, 7 out of 25 in 2 games. A little passive on the jump shot. You made the point that he hadn't gone to the foul line and
pulled up real quick. That was
fast.
unstoppable.
We're going to see that. I would say by the end of next week. They play 6 straight at home, so game 3 Wednesday. By the end of this homestand, he's going to be Russell. He's going to be fine.
It's a lot different doing it in practice and an actual game. So
especially against the 2 teams they've had to play.
Exactly,
yeah, no question. Pretty good point guard game today.
Oh, yeah.
Russell versus Chris Paul.
I know how tough it is to sit out and watch, especially for somebody like Russ who loves to play so much.
Yep, Chris Paul, happy to see Russell Westbrook back. So one of these 2 guys, I'm going to guess.
I'm going CP3.
Best point guard in the league is blank.
Chris Paul, CP3. I mean, before his injury, his shoulder injury, he was averaging a double-double, 19 points and an absurd 11 assists per game. He's reigning first-team All-NBA for a reason. He's a 7-time All-Star. He's been doing it a lot longer than Russell Westbrook. He has the belt. Russell's coming for it, but he still has the belt.
You know what? Hey, I'll tell you what. One thing about Chris Paul is at some point you have to win. And he's Chris Paul, and he's been on good teams. They've never advanced to the conference finals. They get beaten out in the first or second round of the playoffs every year. He's never advanced. At some point, Chris Paul, you have to win. So the answer is Russell Westbrook.
Put Kevin Durant on his team.
Guard.
Give him KD.
Chris Paul's got Blake Griffin. He's got a real coach. He's got a bench. He's got plenty of money in Los Angeles. Russell Westbrook's got Kevin Durant. I understand that.
He's got the belt. Russell's coming for it.
The answer is Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
I would take Tony Parker before I'd take Chris Paul.
Okay, let's
now
move
I'm
on.
just
Let's
saying.
move
You know what? All right. Pick 3, Russell Westbrook. He thinks Kevin Durant is the MVP.
It's obvious. It's obvious. I mean, he has so many different stats throughout the season that nobody has done. I mean, he's done a great job of leading us as a group. He's done it in a way that I don't think nobody's done it this year.
He's right, but LeBron, he's coming. Pick 3, KD's leading the race for MVP is blank.
It's on cruise control. He's not losing ground. He's not gaining ground. He's just cruising along. Like today, 42 points on 50% shooting, and we're like, oh my gosh, LeBron's coming after Kevin Durant for MVP. No, he's on cruise control, man. He's cruising 42 points. LeBron is gaining, but Kevin's still got a big lead.
We were kind of on the same page here. You said cruise control. I said steady because if you score 42 and you have 10 assists and anybody says that anybody's coming to get you, that's not. He leads the league in scoring by 4 points. That is an absurd number. They get the best record in the best conference. He's ahead, and LeBron's got a long ways to go.
Yeah,
Miami's got to win some games, and they're going
left.
to, but Thunder got to nosedive a little bit for him not to win it, I think. Yeah. Pick 4. How about this? Another 5 threes and 15 points from Derek Fisher.
He brings it every time. His toughness, his want is inspiring.
You think Scotty Brooks?
He loves Derek Fisher. He loves him some feet.
I thought he might not miss today, though. Pick 4. Derek Fisher has been blank this season.
Money in the bank.
Yeah.
Play on words here. He likes to bank in the threes. He has been straight cash money in the bank this year. He's shooting 40% from three-point land. And what's really impressed me most is his defense. They put him on some really tough guys in the NBA. He always finds a way to slow them down. But, man, all season he's been great. He's money in the bank.
He was on Chris Paul a little bit today.
Yeah.
I thought he did a pretty serviceable
He's
job
good.
on him. He's 39 years old. He got drafted in 1996.
Oh, my gosh.
He is ageless. He's shooting 40% from 3. It's his highest percentage since 08, 09. He's kind of having to turn back the clock season. I really did. I thought when he came back with the Thunder that he wouldn't play a lot and he wouldn't be that successful. And here he is. He's been unbelievable.
He's
ageless.
He's repaid Scott Brooks' faith in him for sure this year. Scott
No
Brooks is like,
question.
see, I told you guys. I told you.
He loves him.
Oh, loves
Easy
him
to
defense.
tell.
Inspiring.
Yeah. Thunder 0-2 since the All-Star break. Kevin Durant now getting asked questions about are they in a rut?
A rut.
Just kind of, a little rut.
I don't think we're in a rut. But we always can be better. And we just gotta figure it out. I mean, every team goes through a stretch throughout the season. It's a long year, and every game is not going to be great.
I don't think he was thrilled with that question.
Rut?
No.
Did you say rut?
They are still the favorite in the West, but how big here? Thunder are a blank favorite in the Western
I
Conference.
might have gotten a little excited here. I went gargantuan.
You did.
Yeah, I mean, in a 7-game series, who's beating Kevin Durant? I mean, the best player in a series wins the series. They're going to win the West. There's no doubt in my mind.
Extraordinary. They are an extraordinary favorite. Kevin Durant, they're the best team in the West.
Absolutely.
They're a big favorite.
Yep.
It'd take an upset to beat them. Coming up next, winning the internet
Whoa.
goes fashion critique. Who wore it best?
I was going to wear
Russell
that.
or the Clippers?
I left that jacket at home.
Uh-huh. All right, Carson, who won the internet? Who wore it best?
Oh,
Russell
man.
or Chris Paul?
I don't know.
And those are both horrific looks.
I'm going Russell. I don't know what kind of look the Clippers were going for here. They look like a La Tech ladies basketball team.
I can't stand behind leopard print jacket. It had, it was like leather, and I mean.
You never know what Russ is going to wear. He could wear a grandma's drape.
Who wore it
curtains,
worse?
and I would believe it. Westbrook.
Westbrook.